Hello everyone, welcome back once again to my maths class. In this video session, we are going to talk about a new chapter. We are going to discuss a new chapter, that is chapter 7 of class 10 coordinate geometry. Okay, you have heard about the geometry, also the coordinate geometry in your previous classes. Now we will be revising that and we'll proceed to this to the 10th class chapter of coordinate geometry. Right, now what is a geometry? Right, let's try to understand the terms here. Now metry means a measure of, isn't it? Measure of, trigonometry, geometry. Metry means a measure of. Whereas geo means shape. Right. Now, the shapes, like we have already learned the plane geometry, right? Shape means a dot or a line or a curve, any shape like a triangle, a square, right? All these are shapes. So, the measures of all these shapes in plane geometry which you study, that is the geometry. Now, what is this coordinate geometry? The coordinate, this means address. Truly it means address. Now you may wonder what is the address? What does it mean for our maths? Isn't it? So the address of the dot, the line, the curve, all these shapes, right? Now if I say a point, a dot is a point. Like a point, a line, a curve, these are all having many points. How are they formed? By joining many points, we get a line, we get a curve, right? All the points, we get the shapes. And the measure of the shapes is nothing but geometry. And for that geometry, if there is an address, like here address or a location or representation, that is called as coordinate geometry. Truly, the coordinate geometry is nothing but, like if I want, I'll be making it very simpler. Now if you take your notes, let this be a notes, like your notes, a paper. Now I want to place a point. Now I keep it like that. I will be drawing a line, I'll be drawing a triangle, a square, all this I will make. This is nothing but a plane geometry, isn't it? And studying these areas and all that, drawing them with using the scale and all that, this is called as plane geometry. Whereas if I take a graph paper, a plane surface, a graph paper, suppose, okay, the graph paper is being segmented into small blocks, isn't it? So if I take a graph paper, let me suppose, and the same thing, I want to locate a dot here. I want to locate a point on the graph paper. So how do I locate? Just by placing, I won't locate. I will be measuring some information from this side and from some information from this side. Let me suppose this point is 3, 4. Okay, let me suppose this as 3, 4. This is 1, 2, 3 from here. Let this point be 3, 4. I don't know what is 3, 4. That means I keep giving some address to this point, some representation, some location to that point. How do I get? I'll tell you, right? Now, if I'm giving some address, or else if you suppose that if I want to know my friend's address, okay, I'll be telling so and so house number, so and so street, so and so area. Likewise, that means I'm giving some references to locate the address of my friend, right? So likewise, to locate this point, we need some references. To locate a point on the graph sheet, I need some references. Those references or those information are nothing but called as coordinates. Okay. So here I need 2. Like I want to go to my friend's house, I want their street number, I want their area or the pin code where they stay. Like that, here to locate this point I need 2 references, because if I see here from this it is 3 points. From, if I suppose from this point there are 3 points here, and if I move upwards 4 points, then I can locate this point, right? So these 2 are the information or the references to locate that point on the graph sheet. That means to locate or to give an address to a point, I am giving some information to that point so that it is being identified. Now likewise, you can take a line on the graph sheet. If I draw a line from A to B on a graph sheet, so this is having some other point, let me suppose it as 4, 5, right? So this is a point, another point B, and if I draw a line, then this is the length of the line AB. That means I am locating the line, I am giving some address to the line in some system called as the coordinate system. The coordinates, the information, the references I am giving is the X and the Y. Okay. So this reference or giving the reference or the address to the points is nothing but the giving coordinates. So this system is called as the coordinate. Likewise, we had already drawn a line in our notes or on a paper. So this is called plane geometry, whereas when we are giving for that point, we are giving coordinates and references. That is called locating the same line on the coordinate axis is called as something different, that is coordinate geometry or the coordinate system. This coordinate system is being developed by a great French mathematician, René Descartes. A great mathematician, a French mathematician, he has given the coordinate system, okay, coordinate system, and by his name, it was named by his name. His name is René Descartes. So by his name, it is given as Cartesian coordinate system. Okay. So in specific, we call it as a Cartesian coordinate system. Nothing but the coordinate geometry. Right. This is a person, a French mathematician. He has developed this coordinate geometry. Now what is coordinate, what is geometry, and what is coordinate geometry? You understood. Now let's quickly pause the video, note it down. Let's proceed. Now, to locate a point on a number line, which you have studied in your previous classes, we need only one information. Now suppose this is a number line. In the number line, how do we draw? We place 0 to the right side, we place the positive numbers and likewise the negative numbers to the right side. So to place or to locate a point on the number line, I only need one information, one independent information. That means to the right side 2 units after the origin. Origin is 0, 0, origin. Right side 2 units, and you can place. If I want to locate this point 2, you can tell after the origin 2 units. That means we need only one information. But if you want to locate a point on a graph sheet or on a plane surface. Plane surface means a flat surface. Okay. On a plane, if I want to locate, I need 2 independent informations. Right. That 2 independent informations are nothing but the coordinates. Now which we discussed earlier. The coordinates. 2 independent informations we need to locate one single point on the graph paper. If I say they are called as coordinates. Now let me draw the axis. Now this horizontal line is called as a x-axis. You all know this is called x dash. Okay, the complete horizontal line. Now if I draw a vertical line, this is called as the y-axis. We'll name this as y dash. Okay. Now this side, the point of intersection of these coordinate axis. The point of intersection of these coordinate axis is called as the origin, that is 0, 0. Right, that is called as the origin. Now here what is these two axes? These two axes are called as the coordinate axis. The other name for x-axis and y-axis are nothing but coordinate axis. This is coordinate geometry, isn't it? The complete thing is a coordinate system which was developed by René Descartes. Now, this point of intersection, which is called as origin, towards the right side we have all the positive numbers we will be writing, and towards the left of the origin you have the negative numbers. So negative x-axis, positive x-axis. The same way towards the upper part above you have positive y, and towards the down you have the negative. Okay, all these you know, okay, just I am recalling them, right? And what does these coordinate axes do for a plane surface? They divide it into 4 equal parts, isn't it? There are 4 equal parts. Now, this first part is called first quadrant. It is called as first quadrant. So, Q1, quadrant 1, right? This is called the second quadrant. This is called the third quadrant. This is called the fourth quadrant. So, the coordinate axes are dividing the plane surface into 4 parts where there are called as the coordinates. Now I want a point here, somewhere here, that is this point, right here. Now we will talk about the signs of the coordinate, signs of the points placed in the quadrants. Okay, this is the quadrant 1, first quadrant. Now I want to locate a point here. This point is, see here, 2, 3. So first we have to see the positive side. We have to see the x-axis, then you have to see the y-axis. So these are the references, these are the coordinates to locate this point, 2, 3. 2 for the x and 3 for the y. This locating and everything you have known in your 9th class, right? Now, if this point, what about the signs? Signs here are both positive. Okay, that means first x coordinate sign is positive, y coordinate sign is positive, right? Likewise here if you see, always you have to see the point for first x then y. So here you get x coordinate minus and y coordinate plus. All the points placed in the second quadrant are nothing but negative and positive. Here both are negative because you see here x-axis is negative, y-axis is negative. So the points placed in third quadrant are negative, whereas the points placed or located in the fourth quadrant you get positive and negative. Okay, x is positive, y is negative. So all the points. So about the signs we were discussing, and now what I am going to tell that if I want to locate any point on the coordinate axis, I need 2 references, right? I told they are called as the coordinates. Now the first one is called the x coordinate. X coordinate, in other words, it is also called as abscissa. Okay, this is the x coordinate, abscissa, the other name for the x coordinate, whereas the other name for the y coordinate, call it as ordinate or y coordinate, right? So this is all about information regarding the coordinate geometry. Now we will do the application of the coordinate geometry. Quickly pause the video, note it down. Now the application of the coordinate geometry, like we want to find the distance between 2 points in the coordinate axis, in the coordinate system. Okay, the distance between 2 points. For you to explain, I'll take an example here. Now the directions, this is the north direction, this is the south, okay, east and west. Okay, here let me suppose these are the directions. Now a person from a town A, suppose a town A person from town A here, he wants to reach town B where it is here. Okay, he want to reach there via town C. There is another city or another town C, let me suppose. Okay, So from town A to town C it was 4 kilometers. Suppose, and from town B to C to B is 3 kilometers suppose. Now he wants to travel to town B via town C suppose. Now he has to travel 4 kilometers and again he has to travel towards east 4 kilometers and towards north 3 kilometers. That means he will be traveling 7 kilometers to reach town B. Right. Now if he directly travels from town A to town B, not through town C, not via town C, directly if he reaches town C, then how much distance he will cover, we will know it. Okay, how much, in how many kilometers he will be reaching town B, we will see here. Clearly if you see, this is a right angle triangle. Okay, towards north, towards east, this is a right angle triangle, right angled at C. Now the opposite to right angle is the hypotenuse. Now when we tell about a right angle triangle, we have to remember the Pythagoras theorem. Now the Pythagoras theorem, what does it tell? According to Pythagoras theorem, in a right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. Okay. In simple, we can say hypotenuse square is equal to side square plus side square. So to find any one side, we can use this. Out of the three, we can use the Pythagoras theorem. Now if you see here, hypotenuse square, that means AB square is equal to this. One side is 4 square plus one side is 3 square. Okay. Now I don't know AB. This is what we have to know from town A to town B. Now this comes to 16 plus 9, that is 25. Okay, if you take the square root of 25, this comes to 5. Plus or minus, negative we cannot take for the distance, so plus 5 units. So here, if you see clearly, he will be actually via C town, he will be taking 7 kilometers to travel, but when he travels from A to B, now we got it as 5, though this is 5 kilometers. That means in general we can locate like this using the Pythagoras theorem, where if these are called the absolute distances, these are the absolute distances, but if the lengths or the distances are not absolute, like if if we suppose they are in the coordinate forms, like if I take the point A as x1 y1 and point B as x2 y2, now what is the distance travelled? How much is the distance travelled from A to B? I have to calculate in coordinate geometry. Let's see how to calculate. Now we will draw the coordinate axis, x-axis. This is the y-axis. Now I want to travel from A to B. Let me suppose this as A and this as B. Okay, you have to travel from A to B. A is x1 y1. I am not taking any absolute values. We are taking the coordinates, and we will find out the distance between town A and town B, right? Taking the coordinates. So B is x2 y2. Let me suppose. Now today we are learning about the distance between 2 points or the 2 places, or we can also say that the length of AB also we can say. Now if you are taking this now, so how do I get point A? By locating point A, if you see here, this is x-axis, right? And how do I get point B? X and y-axis. Now if you see this one, this is clearly a right angle, isn't it? According to Pythagoras theorem. Now how do I get A point? Point A, how do I get till here? If you see, this is x2, isn't it? The distance till here is x2 and the distance till here is x1. Till here it is x1. Now I want the point A point x coordinate only. How do I get the x coordinate here of A point? X2 minus x1, this point, this distance. I am telling, if this is A, C and B, this distance, how do I get x2 minus x1? Right. According to Pythagoras theorem, we will see this square plus this square should come to hypotenuse square. So this distance, only AC distance I am telling. Here AC distance is x2 minus x1. Now this likewise you see for this one here, B, the y coordinates. How do I locate B? Till here you get it as y2 and till here this is y1. So clearly y2 minus y1 is nothing but your BC. BC is equal to y2 minus y1. Seeing the graph, this is y2 minus y1. This part BC I got it as y2 minus y1. Now let us apply the Pythagoras theorem. So what does the Pythagoras theorem tell us? That it is hypotenuse square AB square is equal to side square plus side square. This side square I got it as x2 minus x1, x2 minus x1 square. So square plus, according to Pythagoras theorem, BC square is y2 minus y1 is BC whole square. So I applied the using, I am not using the absolute values as 4 and 3. I am using the coordinates. This AC distance is y2 x2 minus x1. This BC distance is y2 minus y1. So that I have substituted. Now I don't want the square. I want the distance from A to B. That's all. This distance I want. So that comes to square root. This square to the other side becomes square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So this is called as the distance formula or the length formula. Distance between any 2 points in the coordinate system, we call it as this. Now that derivation I have showed you using the coordinate axis. This is the distance formula. You can as well write it here. See here, the distance formula, you can write it as AB distance or the length between A point and B point like this, under root. Here you can replace them, so that because if you square any minus whole square is plus, plus whole square is plus only, isn't it? So you can replace this for your convenience, x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. Okay, y2 minus y1 or y1 minus y2, one and the same, because after squaring the minus gets comes to positive. So the distance formula is this. A very important formula in the coordinate axis, under root of x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2. Now quickly pause the video and note it down. We'll do an example problem. Now exercise 7.1, one problem for you. I'll do it to explain the distance formula. Okay. Now find the distance between 2 points. The points are given here. We have to find the distance between these 2 points. Okay. They are the coordinates. Now we will write down. The first one is x1, y1, the first point. The second one is x2, y2. These are the points. Now what is the distance formula? Distance between two. The distance formula is under root x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. So this is the formula. Simply we will substitute the values of x1, y1, x2, y2 into the formula. Now this is equal to x1 is minus 5. Should be very cautious with the negative signs. Okay, x1 minus subtraction x2 is again minus 1. So this comes to whole square. So be cautious here. x1 I have written minus 5, x2 is minus 1, and again we have a subtraction sign. So minus 3 subtractions are there, plus y1 is 7 minus y2 is 3. Simply there are no subtractions. Now here while solving, minus 5 minus into minus plus 1 whole square. Okay, here 7 minus 3, 4 whole square. This comes to minus 5 plus 1 minus 4 whole square. Minus 4 whole square comes to plus 16. This is plus 16. So this is nothing but 16 plus 16 is 32. units. So this is the distance or the length, isn't it? So under root of 32 units. This is the answer for this problem. And likewise, there are many problems, few more problems in the first bit itself. You do it, practice for yourself. And one thing I want to tell you, if you are taking x and y coordinates, suppose the intersection of x and y coordinates is the origin 0, 0, where the x coordinate is 0, y coordinate is 0. Now, if I want to find distance between the origin O and some point A, okay, I want the distance between OA from the origin to some point x1, y1. Let me suppose. We know the distance between 2 points on the coordinate as this formula, x1 minus x2 whole square, y1 minus y2 whole square under root. But if a line is from the origin to another point, so simply it is the distance between is x1 square plus y1 square. Okay, because x1 minus x2, where x1 is 0. So 0 and minus 1 is x1 square. 0 minus y1 whole square is just y1 square. So this is the formula for the length of a line from the origin to any point. So that also we can simply use it when it is from the origin. Okay, practice the problems in the exercise. We will be continuing with the rest of the sums in the next session.